Hello, welcome back to the Magic Kingdom. So we are today in a different area. You probably never saw this. This is the lab. As you know, we're a pretty big winery. We produce like over 20,000 cases, and part of the all quality process is also monitoring the chemistry of the wine. So it's not only tasting and drink it, and it's a lot of analysis. It's a lot of parameters that you want to have under control to better understand the evolution of the wine. So the lab, enological lab, as far as routine analysis, is not rocket science. There are pretty easy and fast and quick analysis that can be performed. If you match to that the fact that is everything under the control, at least here, of the winemaker and the cellar master, you join to the results, the action that you've done and that you know perfectly, and then you have a pretty nice idea what is the status of your wine itself. That doesn't mean that once in a while we use some external lab, professional external lab, that can give us a better understanding if our analyses are right or wrong and how far we are, so that we can keep a very nice strict control on everything. Now this is, we are end of November almost, and it is a very important step during the life of the young wines. They are still passing from grapes to wine. Of course, there is no more sugar in all of them. It's all become already alcohol, but they're still evolving, they're changing, and you wanna, as a winemaker, you want to run this process, not have the process run you. So what I'm holding in my hand now is a method of analysis called the paper chromatography that is several years old, but is really good and easy to make. So what we are testing here is our red wines in the process of malolactic fermentation. So this process happens after the alcoholic primary fermentation, and it's handled by bacteria and not yeast, and is responsible of the change between malic acid to lactic acid. This change in the acidity makes a change of the taste, but also it stabilizes biologically the wine, because if you make this process happen now, as we are doing, it will not happen later on, perhaps in the bottle. So it keeps, a better control of stabilization of the wine. You see this area? This is basically, this process lasts 24 hours. So we see before the blank paper is a paper like this one, and then we put like little tiny drop of the wine in the bottom line here. Then we immerse this we put this into a jar with a little special solvent, chromatography solvent, and after 12 hours the solvent goes up, dragging the drop of the wine, and then you can see a spectrum of the acidity. So in this first line we see the tartaric acid, in the second line we see the malic acid, then in the third very line on top there is the lactic acid. So I'm happy when there is no more yellow areas in this spot. That means that the malic acid converted completely into lactic acid. When I have this spectrum, then I send out a sample to a lab that can perform some more precise analysis to seal the fact that the fermentation is done, and I can finally move, because of my process, into the barrel for the aging. So Tom, if you can actually want to have a shot of the winery, we are moving constantly barrels in these first steps, at least until December, because we have to make we have to move them, we have to rack it, we have to put it back, we have to make addition to the wine based on the stage of the life that the wine is in. So again, November, December, really after the harvest is the post-harvest, but it's not quiet. There is a lot of going on, mostly monitoring and basically making sure that from now on the wine will be fine in the aging without any big changes, but just nice and clean evolution prior to the bottling. You know, my method is pretty simple and traditional. It's aging in the barrel, rack it from the barrel, bottling, possibly without filter and finding anything, just as natural as possible. So I guess next time we will see each other, I will tell you a little bit more about another project on the vineyard. It's part of the renovation that we will be doing, and is actually started already now. Come visit us, check out what we are doing. Soon there will be also the famous other 3 wines, the fingerprint selection, and I guess I'll see you then. Bye!